What's happening? What's happening? What is going on? Yo, welcome. It is Wednesday night. We are here back in the studio, in the Black Hat studio. Yo, it's felt like it's been forever.
No more snow.
No more snow.
Sick of the snow.
Right. For real. The snow is interfering with everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we back in the building, y'all. Welcome, and thank you guys for tuning in to AO, the show where you're not a victim, but you're a volunteer to invigorating conversation. And the question of the hour is, as always, are you open?
Yeah, are you open? What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Yes, welcome. What's up?
Here, we all back.
We all back. Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome back to Delaware, Jerome.
Listen, I live here.
It's true.
That's true. Born and bred.
That's true.
Right, Dover, welcome.
All right. So you're just animal. Anyway, yeah, welcome back. No more snow, y'all. I think we fresh out of there.
I hope so. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody got no time for the snow.
It's Easter Sunday. Nor'easter. Okay.
Shut up.
Nor'easter.
Anyway.
I'm so done with you. Welcome, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in with us again. Welcome back to the show. To our Hottest Live family, thank you guys for tuning in. We love and appreciate you as always. To the Facebook Live family, thank you guys for tuning in. Listen, if you're not tuning in via Facebook, or if you are, go ahead and download the Hottest Live app from your Google Play or iTunes App Store. The app is the Hottest Live Radio. You could download the app and hear music and shows 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And of course, catch the AO show every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock right here on the Hottest Live Radio. To join tonight's conversation with us, if you want to call in, the number is 302-272-9772. Again, it's 302-272-9772. We back in the building. What's happening, fellas? We back. What's good?
Right. Ain't nothing good.
Ain't nothing good?
Nah. Ain't nothing good. No, I'm playing. I'm good.
Oh, I was going to say, really?
It's been a long week, man. It's been a long week. I've been super busy. I'm getting sick for the second time. I had a cold, man.
Need some echinacea, vitamin C?
Right.
Yeah, I had all of that.
You need to build your immune system, love.
My immune system is tight. It's just going in and out of the house with no coat on. You know what I mean?
Oh, so it's bad decisions.
Bad decisions. Okay. Bad decisions will lead to bad sickness, brother.
See, but I heard you can't get sick from the cold weather, though.
What you get sick from?
It's the bacteria.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I hear you.
That's what I was told.
Yeah, but, okay, so bacteria is there. Then you going in and out without a coat, allowing it to just grow and, be all musty in your system.
Right.
There you go. Now he's all sick. Like the 13th time this year.
There you go.
Well, Lord willing, I won't be sick for the rest of the year.
All right.
Don't worry, you're just going to knock them all out now.
Let's get it out the way. Get it out the way.
You got control over
That's
there.
Right. Let's get it out the way.
Definitely.
If you made that kind of deal, I'm nervous. I don't know what the Illuminati did with you that say, listen, 2 sicknesses in a week, we're done.
No, we're good.
I'll take care.
No Illuminati here, brother.
Jarrell, welcome back. Jarrell, he was out in the NC.
Absolutely.
And
life was good.
Life was good.
Yeah, with the family and
Were you out there saving lives
and getting money? Because you say making money, getting money. There's a difference between making money and getting money. Okay, it just feels different. Yeah.
All right,
it feels different in your soul.
Oh, does it?
Absolutely. You ever
I don't care. I just want money. Just give me the money. I'm cool either way.
Me and Ellie had to go live last week. That was fun though.
That was fun.
A lot of people liked it.
And he was.
I was there.
Him and his pink cup. You were there. You and your pink cup.
He was there. He was.
You and your pink
throwing
cup.
gas on the fire. That was fun. You did. You found a better battery in my back. The alcohol was good though. Orange juice.
The orange juice. That's what it was. That's what you call it.
Trying to make me so much pettier than I am.
You are.
I can't,
brother.
Y'all.
Very petty.
So my week has been good. All has been well. Busy, but well. Can't complain.
Good.
Shout out to Danita Pollock, Ashley Burton. Thank you for tuning in. Amber Robinson, Marcus Dean Mullen. What's happening, baby? Thank you for tuning in. Vivian Johnson, Diana Hagboo. What's going on? Mel Mick, Cheryl Werner. Thank you for tuning in. Beverly McGee, Eddie Santiago, Greg Wilkerson. Hey, Kaiwan. Happy belated birthday, boo. Yo, that's what I can say. I went to Kaiwan's 40th birthday party.
I seen that. Shout out to him. He was getting off, yo.
Listen, can we say turn? I have not partied like that in a long time.
Yeah, all black? Was that all black party or something?
It was blue and white, and black.
Blue and
but
white, black.
The vets wore all black. because he's our Zumba instructor.
Oh, word.
So all of us that's
You go to a Zumba instructor's party, you definitely gonna go to work.
Honey, we was in there working.
I bet.
With the heels on.
Shout out to him.
Yes.
Shout out to Mel Mick for her birthday. Happy birthday, Mel.
Definitely. Shout out to Deidre Jones. Thank you for tuning in. Jacinda Black, thank you for tuning in. Marcus says, Nelly, you looking a bit appetizing. Watch in there. Marcus, you stupid. I'm not doing this with you. Not today, Marcus.
Stupid?
Marcus.
Marcus.
Shut up. Hey, Dana.
The show's phone is about to ring.
Right. Excuse me, Marcus. The brother upstairs.
Y'all are dumb. Whatever. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Dana said, wait, he's 40. He looks so good to look 40. Yes, he's 40. Kewan is 40. Looking good, honey.
About to come to Kewan's class.
Listen, come to the class. So he be working it. Love it. Representing the Zumba class out in Beard, Delaware. Definitely. We had a good time. I haven't partied like that in a while. And I drank since 1800, son.
I seen that.
Yeah, you know I'm not a drinker.
Tequila.
I just told you 10 minutes ago this life's different.
I don't do that, but honey.
You want shots? You got a drink.
A drink. I had
a couple drinks.
Okay, if you
Listen,
have
I'm supposed to be saved on this show. I ain't had no drinks.
So you have people drink and libations. What are you talking about? Okay.
I'm only messing.
Just don't get drunk.
No, I was done.
Oh,
there was no coming back.
What do you drink?
It was 1800. It was tequila.
Straight?
No, with Coke.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Coca-Cola.
totally off my program. Like my whole program went out the window that night.
What's up? Well, your Zumba instructor was there, so he kind of counterproductive.
Because the soda
it was approved.
Soda and the food we were eating. He had mad food. We had a pre-party at his house. So that was like all the food.
I thought the drink was at his crib.
It was started at his crib. And then we went to celebrations. He booked out the whole celebration. Like, yo, we had a blast.
That's what's up. Shout out to him.
It was definitely awesome. Shout out to Jennifer Allenby. And Smooth. Oh, isn't that
That's Jaquan.
Jaquan. Hey, thanks, Jaquan.
Rose.
Smooth, yeah. Smooth is in the building.
Right.
Definitely. Okay. Shout out to all of you guys. Go ahead.
What do you drink?
What do I drink?
Everything.
I don't drink dark liquor though.
Say this.
It's a fact. I don't.
Like 5 jokes popped in my head. I'm not going to say nothing.
Yeah, please don't. You're definitely a battery pack blacker. You are. Nah, some Ciroc. I drink. Yeah.
Ciroc.
I'm trying to finish this Tito's bottle in the house though, right now. But man, I'm Ciroc.
I drink water.
You just talked about 1800.
But that was like the first time. But that was the first time I drank that. No, I drank tequila in Cancun. So it's on a special occasion.
So when you go out, that's what do you normally order?
I don't know. Like wine.
Okay, so your wine red or
white.
Okay.
No, Bev, I don't drink beer. You're right. I don't. Shout out to Bev and
keep batteries on deck.
Oh God.
Deidre said nice fedora.
Absolutely. Listen, I do it for the people. Okay, it's not even funny.
That's expected now.
Absolutely.
That's expected.
Because I'm bald under here.
Jarrell was asked if he's bald under his fedora.
That's great. That means you're wearing a lot.
I got the Sherman Hemsley going on. That's it. That's it. It's nothing.
I can't. Belita, thank you for tuning in, Belita. So tonight's show, we have a really good show for you guys tonight. I know we've been going for like a week. We kind of did like a mini show last week. Myself and Corey and Jarrell tuned in. But we have a good show for you tonight. Tonight we're talking about being right in all the wrong ways. How to let your partner know you're not satisfied without being ashamed.
Just say it.
Just say it, huh?
Not happy.
Just say it. Just that easy.
Sure.
When you're in a relationship that you care about, it's just that easy to say, listen here, dude.
Because when you don't care, let somebody else fix it.
Is that what it is?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
You don't
I'm
care.
just saying. Well, we're going to get into that. But right before we get into the topic for tonight, we have our little segment that I like to do. Is to getting to know you.
Yeah.
This is where we ask the crew at the table some personal questions. And we get their insight. And, you get to learn them a little bit more. So question number 1. Would you rather have sex with your celebrity crush once or have sex with your real life crush for the rest of your life? Would you rather have sex with your celebrity crush one time,
right,
or have sex with your real life crush for the rest of your life?
Real life crush rest of my life.
Okay. You want to go tonight.
I got a whole family. What you talking about? That's it.
You married your real life crush for the rest of your life.
That's what it is.
That's
well,
right.
I didn't yet, but it's about to. That's what's gonna happen. Clearly.
Right.
Give me two
So
of them.
man.
Yes. Go ahead, Jarrell.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get married one day too.
Yeah.
Yo, that was a never mind. I hope he's listening. Anyway,
he better be listening. It's like the.
Oh, he is. You're gonna come out for that comment earlier.
Shut up.
Like a snack. What?
Would you rather have sex with your celebrity crush once? I think I'd probably maybe the celebrity crush. Just because
I knew you was gonna say that.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Who is
Idris Elba. Are you serious?
Oh my God.
I love him. His accent. His UK accent, and then just everything. Yeah, that's my boy right there.
All right.
That's my boy. Shout out to Aisha Farrell, Lisa Hopkins, Joseph Hicks. Thank you for tuning in. Tamika Johnson. Thank you for tuning in. Isabel Duran. What's happening? Thank you for tuning in. Said? No, what she said?
She said, "Come on, Nelly, with the pan from Total Look."
Right? Can't you see?
Listen, let me explain the do. I love the do though. I do love this. But I'm trying to let my sides grow back in.
Oh,
I was tired of wearing it the one side and showing the new growth, so I needed something to kind of cover it up. You know, the protective style.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You know.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Definitely. Maisha, what's happening? Thank you for tuning in. Cynthia Willis, same to you. Next question. Would you rather have sex with someone who never showers or someone who never brushes their teeth?
Come on, son. Neither one of them.
No, you have to choose one.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I'm just gonna jump off the roof. I couldn't make a decision. You bugging out. Neither one. I don't even know. I'm offended you asked me that. You crazy.
Well, it's the question. The people try to get to know you.
If you know me, you would never ask me that.
You have no answer? You can't.
I don't know.
You can answer one.
Why I gotta choose one?
You have to.
Neither one.
That's the getting to know you question.
That's not. You're not getting to know me if you don't shower and brush your teeth.
But I feel like this is actually very easy.
It's very easy.
What is it now? Jarrell, let's go.
Think of it this way. Okay, so a female who doesn't shower.
Right.
We're not even playing this game. Okay, there are things down there that I wish you mother would not watch. Hold up. So that's not even the question. Shut your mouth. Okay, we'll have to make do. But if you ain't washing that,
right,
you lost your mind.
Yeah.
It's so funny because my girlfriend, you know, back in her whole phase, she used to deal with like the dude could be busted, and I used to be like, "Yo, how do you sleep with him?" She'd be like, "Girl, I told him to turn me around."
What?
I said,
"How she choose?"
Okay.
Hold on. What happened?
So she used to deal with these dudes that's like really busted in the face, real messed up, and I'm like, "How do you even like be open enough to get with this dude?" Like he looks, but that was her whole phase, you know. She's gotten delivered, but she used to be like, I used to tell him turn me around. So. To this question, I would say to brush your teeth. Turn me around so I ain't got to smell your breath. Just hit it from the back and just keep moving.
Whatever.
Yeah. That's kind of has to. That's how that has to be. Like I don't understand. That's how that in that circumstances.
Right.
There's nothing else. What are we going to do? Like. I mean, I'm bothered by not brushing your teeth. Like I'm severely but I'm not
severely bothered.
But I'm never talking to you again.
Stop talking.
Right.
I'm never talking to you again.
Exactly.
1 second.
Okay. Right. Like we don't.
Hold up. Relax.
But
I got it.
Not washing.
I order.
Just tell that nigga just to text you. What do you got to say? Just text me. We ain't got to talk.
Eventually, it's gonna come out the side of their mouth though. Like
I'm not gonna make it to
if
the
you
side.
breathe.
But if she don't wash,
What if you get it? Huh?
If she don't wash, it's her body funk.
No doubt.
You see what I'm saying? Like there's a different type of.
You're right, dude. So here's the thing. I can't do either one of them. Like it's over.
But if you had to.
No, I don't have to. I don't have to do nothing.
Yo, you such a party pooper.
How am I a party pooper?
Oh my God.
I'm just gonna be in a room by myself, me and my little shit, and I'm chilling.
Or you gotta saw something off. I don't. I'm just telling.
So I gotta saw what off?
Hey,
we
you
good.
see the movie Saw? I don't know.
I'm not sawing it off.
I don't know what your challenge is. I'm not Jigsaw.
Yeah. All right, we gonna move to the next question.
Yeah,
This is Corey being a party pooper.
All right, man.
Belina said, and no, because stink breath travel. That's true. Maisha said her nose is too big for that, for phone.
That is crazy, man.
Yeah, but just the not washing thing is just disturbing my soul.
Facts. That is very disturbing. Because I'm like a fanatic when it comes to the washing. Like I don't like that.
You understand?
And I have a thing about women smelling good. But I guess the breath thing does do that.
Well, it's over.
Like, the same.
Just cancel Christmas, both of them. Get out of here.
Cancel Christmas.
Both of y'all can talk to her and she can smell you. Get them out of here.
Yeah.
All right. One more question, then we out of here.
All
right. Would you rather date someone with the perfect body or with the perfect moves in the bedroom? Would you rather date someone with a perfect body or Somebody that has perfect moves in the bedroom.
I'll take the perfect body because I got the move.
You got the moves.
I handle the rest.
I got the moves.
Relax.
Moves. Hey,
You ain't gotta do nothing.
Hey.
I'm straight.
But you know, women want to have moves too.
Yeah, but that's not what you asked me.
Oh, okay.
Nah,
All right, cool. Just saying.
take the body.
Joel?
So she does perfect moves, but she's not boring. Like, see, if she's not boring, then I got the moves. That's a fair fact.
Yeah.
You can teach and
Right.
grow with that. That's
You can body wise.
And what is that movie
Yeah, that's
from?
true, too.
Show me the moves.
No, that's from a song. It's a Big Sean song. That's what I think.
That is, yeah, but I'm talking about Last Dragon.
Oh
Yeah.
Hi, Ty Drea. What's happening, baby?
Oh,
Hey, Shona Mason. What's happening, baby?
Must have took a trip to New York or something.
Shut up.
Nah,
man.
you ain't been in the studio for like 2 weeks. She been practicing every day.
Yo, y'all gonna stop clowning me. That's what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna stop
Listen,
clowning
I'm
me.
not clowning you. I'm shouting out Hooked on Phonics.
Me and Ty Drea, we cool. We
Oh, you said it again,
Okay.
right? Now, what's the hat?
It's a fedora.
Okay.
Shut up.
We moving.
Hooked on Phonics. Shouts out.
We rubbing
Y'all gonna
off on
stop
Nelly.
clowning me.
You good,
Y'all
Nelly.
baby can read.
Anyway.
All right, yeah. Everybody else on the feed says they would rather the moves in the bed. He said, Cynthia said, "Can you teach me some moves, Last Dragon?"
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Yes. All right, so that's it for the getting to know you segment. We got that before we get into the topic.
Absolutely.
The
AOPOV. You know what I mean? Let's talk what the world talking about.
What's the world talking about?
So apparently, Snapchat is out of here, right? They throw Snapchat in the trash right now.
Yeah.
They threw the whole
Absolutely. Because of an ad they posted on Rihanna and Chris Brown talking about, would you rather slap one or punch the other?
Yikes.
Crazy.
Right. Then Rihanna went out there, made a whole post talking about, hey, with all the domestic violence and things that's going on in this world, y'all got the nerve to take this route?
Yeah.
Right. Next thing you
Snapchat's
know,
gone.
Snapchat's done.
It's out of here.
Wow.
What y'all think about that?
What do you do with Snapchat anyway anymore? Like, it's just really a app to take pictures.
Well, it
If
was
it
always that.
You know what I mean? Like,
Instagram was that too, though.
it's out of here.
But I think that, but it still had a large following.
Not no more.
Yeah.
So like, did they like
Rihanna
shut down the whole Snapchat?
Not yet. No, it's still.
It's just
okay.
a loss. How many viewers are lost? How many?
Yeah, 1.5.
1.5 million?
Oh, they lost people because of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it lost money. The net worth dropped significantly.
Oh.
You don't survive after Rihanna says no.
Yeah, deep.
All they need is Beyonce to jump on.
to back it up.
It's over. Beehive coming in.
Yeah. There's a
Tiffany
few
Haddish
armies.
to do Beyonce spokesperson.
Tiffany Haddish is the new Beyonce
That's a
spokesperson.
fact.
You know what? She
Think
could
about
be.
it. That's
She
a
could
fact.
be.
I cannot.
Hey, look,
No.
she came at the Beehive. This first person I said served the Beehive the right way. It wasn't disrespectful.
Tiffany Haddish leaks everything that Beyonce wants to be leaked.
She do. That's
Yeah.
That's
all
what that is.
That's
Yeah.
all a part of the
Right.
stunt, though.
And it's funny how she leaks these things right before there's a concert with
Wait.
Jay-Z and Beyonce
hold on.
coming.
Somebody
in.
else said this. I think it was Eli. He must have said it that you notice Beyonce always has her concerts right during tax season.
I ain't paying that no
You ain't
more.
paying no mind, but check it out.
They need to, though.
I mean, well, that's just concert season. Like, because once you hit that springtime, that's when people do a lot of festivals and concerts.
But
It's just
did you
normal.
know her tickets are like all that?
Yeah,
all
just 'cause
that.
she's Beyonce.
Yeah. Did you just say who slapped Bay? Somebody slapped.
Oh no,
Beyonce.
somebody bitter.
Somebody bitter? They said it was a Sanaa Lathan.
Yeah, it was. Well, if it was, it was.
But Sanaa Lathan said that wasn't her.
And she said if it was a love bite.
All right.
I cannot.
Let's rock out with this topic, baby.
I can't. All right, y'all. We're gonna get into tonight's topic, and the topic is being right in all the wrong ways. How to let your partner know you're not satisfied without being ashamed. So we know in relationships, and it's so funny in the world of let me go here. In the world of psychology and therapy, we have something called a duty to warn. You have a duty to warn. So if a client comes into your office and they're threatening suicide or homicide against a person, we have a duty to warn based on what they're disclosing to us. So there's an article here in Psychology Today that says you have a duty to warn your spouse if you are unhappy in your marriage.
Yeah.
You have a duty to warn. So if you're unhappy in your marriage, it is part of your right, your duty to warn your spouse.
So warn them like, yo, I'm not happy.
Well,
Before you-
to communicate what's really going on.
All right.
Because what we've seen over the years, of course, and over in different studies, people who are unhappy in their marriages or their relationships, they usually do the first thing that a lot of us do is shut down.
Mm-hmm.
We shut down. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to discuss it in no way, shape, or form. Because I do have that issue too. I'll shut down too.
Yeah.
But I'm shutting down for reasons of processing my feelings. That's just me personally.
So you shut down with a non-processing sign?
What?
So you shut down with the non-processing sign?
Yes, I do. I do.
Like that's what it is. Like, I wasn't even joking. Like it's just
I'm serious.
Non-processing.
Because for me personally, like I don't like to have to come back and apologize for that. And I said this before, but I need to make sure what I'm gonna say in my mouth is truly what I mean, and I could back that up. I don't want to come off with just emotions.
Yeah.
So when I shut down, I have to shut down and really say, okay, what's really bothering me about this situation?
Yeah.
But I mean, I just think it's only right. That's just how I deal with it.
So do you tell them that you're doing it? That that's what you're doing?
I didn't before, but I have now have to start doing.
So
platform.
So no, not without us. So there's no sign. You just shut down.
Before I used
all of a
to
sudden
shut
you
down.
quiet and you disappear somewhere. And
Yeah.
you're like, what
I
happened?
straight off.
So do you answer the what's wrong? Because that I am sure invokes the question of what's wrong. Are you okay? Do you answer?
Now I do.
And you just come out the gate like, yo, so this is what's wrong?
She keeps saying now, like, okay, well, yesterday I started. Okay, so
now you do. Now I get it, Nelly. I understand where you at.
100%.
100%. Now you do.
It's called growth.
It's
okay.
called growth.
Initially, it wasn't. It was like, yo, get out of my face, shut up, bye, be safe. Right?
What made you change?
Growth. I wanted it to work, so I noticed me being in my feelings can't keep it. It's not gonna make it work.
That's smooth. You heard the message, y'all. She wanted it to work, so she noticed being in her feelings. What?
It's not gonna make it work.
That's what I'm talking about. So God bless you. Good job, Nelly.
Yes.
See what happens when you care.
I'm growing up, yeah. Unlike Jarrell,
who
don't care.
He doesn't care.
But I understand. That's what you're for.
You understand? You would care. Anyway, that's it all.
That's not true. Okay.
Given that marriage is a legal contract, what if all 50 states created a law that made it illegal to fail to let your spouse know of your intentions to leave and require that you give him a minimum of 6 months notice that you want a divorce? What are your thoughts on that?
That's what's up.
Depends on the reason for leaving, but
I mean, yeah.
I guess in the tech context of not being satisfied. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that there's. I think that's a hard line. That's not that cut and dry, right? So when you're dealing with not being satisfied in a relationship, to me, the problem is people grow and change, right? You might have been satisfied year 5, year 10. Now you're not because now your world changed, your life changed, your routine changed, and your process changed. And what's going on is if you don't communicate along those lines, a way through it, I guess in the warning, but I kind of think it needs to come before the warning. Like, hey, look, how about we go into this? We start doing these things before it gets to that point, right? And it takes foresight. Unfortunately, everybody doesn't have foresight.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that goes into one of the ways of getting over this situation is to deal with it immediately. Like when it happens, don't let it linger. Because even that whole shutting down process, it gives it too much room to grow and unnecessary stuff to start filtering into the situation.
I agree. I think what you said, Nelly, is perfect. So when you want it to work, you'll do something different. And if you don't care, then you just won't. I think that I've learned to now communicate what's wrong. If I'm not happy, I'm going to tell you I'm not happy. And here's the reason why I'm not happy. Now, once I tell you, you're responsible for adjusting to my feelings.
Live down on how.
And I'm going to tell you how.
So is the other person responsible for your happiness?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Are they?
Wait, think about what you just said.
I'm responsible for yours.
No,
you're responsible for somebody else's happiness?
I don't buy that.
I have a responsibility to work towards it. Let me say that. Though I feel like once you tell me, I have a responsibility to respond to it, right? I can't just act like it doesn't matter. It's my responsibility to make sure that I heard what you said and I actively work towards adjusting or making you happy or working towards acknowledging what you told me. So to me, yes, I'm responsible for making my wife happy. Now, if I proactively work towards it or if I'm actively trying to get to that and I don't get there, then we need to discuss it further. So I guess what you're saying is, am I responsible for your happiness? Essentially, it looks like no, I'm not responsible because I can't necessarily make you happy. Right. But once you tell me, as your husband or as your boyfriend, I'm responsible for working towards that. Why tell you? Why tell you for what? Like if I'm not doing that, what am I doing?
I'll give you another way to look at it because I know exactly what you're saying. I'm gonna just give you another way to look at it, which I think is I love this way. You're not responsible for your partner's happiness. I think we're responsible for the health of the relationship.
Explain that to me.
The health of the relationship, how the relationship functions, how it operates, how it goes. We need to be on the same page. How the dynamic of the relationship. I think that's what we're responsible for and the part that we play in it. But everybody's happiness is a personal thing.
So I agree. So I guess that's what I'm saying.
I agree with you saying, but I'm saying the word for it, I think, is the health of the relationship more so than the person.
Yeah, I heard you.
Their happiness. Yeah,
absolutely.
I think, and whereas I agree with Nelly, I think that there's also a difference between me being responsible for your happiness in general and your happiness with me.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right? Like, and that's about how responsive I am to you on a regular basis, a consistent basis. Sometimes it's me catching you when you fall. And sometimes it's me providing what you need in ways that you might not even think of. Listen, I got you. Don't even worry about that. Right. It's but that's a part of that yin and the yang, because in a relationship you're going to get on each other's nerves too.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that's what I meant.
Yeah. So that part has to be built in. I got to be okay with the fact that I annoyed you the other day and you told me, you let me know, hey, listen, okay, cool. Now I got to adjust next time because I didn't think about it.
That's my point.
It's
absolutely. But sometimes but to you guys' point, with the other side of that, I'm not responsible for making you happy.
Right.
I think that you're responsible for that.
Right.
Right. So I agree with you.
And I think what also comes in that, it is my responsibility to tell you what makes me happy, like what you do that can contribute to my happiness. That's what I'm talking about, the health of the relationship. Not just assume that you know. But when you do this, it makes me happy. When you ignored me last week, it made me unhappy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the type, and I was talking to my friend about this. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let my boo know. Like, look, when I text you, I'm not texting you just because. You know, some chicks will just text just because. Where you at? What time you coming home? No. I'm gonna text you, say, listen, I want some attention.
Right.
Like, that's just me.
That's what you're gonna say?
That's what I do.
I want some attention.
Yeah, I want some attention. Like, like I've said it to my boo numerous times. I don't know. I'm emotional. I just want to be up under you. Like, what time you coming home?
Say that.
And that's what I do. Like, I do.
That's being grown, though.
Exactly. And that's how I
send me no text message and be like, hey, what you doing?
Right.
I'm working.
Exactly.
Oh, you ain't got no time for me.
Right.
What you talking about?
Right.
Like, what's up?
Exactly.
You go from 0 to 100 so fast.
Yo, because that shit happens, yo.
It do. And it's annoying.
Like Chris Rock said,
really annoying.
You want me to miss you? You been in my pocket all day. What are you doing? FaceTime, text message, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. Damn.
It's true.
Tell me what you need.
I agree.
You want some attention? You want me to come home now? I'm out.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Or if you can't be out, just chill. I'll be home in a couple hours.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
The additional interaction and communication.
And the consideration has to be there too. That
be
life
deliberate with
happens.
what you want, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's not that confident in what they want.
Or some people don't know what they want.
Right.
Absolutely.
So and this is why, even in the satisfied realm, sometimes if someone doesn't know what they need, all they know is they don't like what they have.
Right.
So, and even and this is why I say there's a level of growth that comes through in relationships over time that takes constant communication. You either grow together or grow apart based on it. But that's what can happen. You got to let your partner know, hey, this is where I'm looking at. Let's try, because when one experiences new things without the other, they're adding to their artillery, and you ain't got that in yours, so you don't even know about this, right? I done tried sushi, and I'm like, yo, this sushi is banging. You ain't never had none of this, so you might not like it. Don't even try it. Listen, you over there, you now, right? So now every time I'm trying to go to the sushi spot, you don't know about it.
Right.
All right, you ain't trying to go. This is an experience that you can't take part in. Right now, but that becomes my favorite. Now we got a whole nother conversation.
Sometimes I just need you to put the sushi in my mouth, though.
Try
it, relax.
Literally.
Hashtag facts.
Try this. I want you to try it.
I think when you're unhappy, it hurts even more to realize when your significant other doesn't notice that you're unhappy. Especially for women, we have a thing about it like, see that I'm mad, know that I'm mad at you. You made me unhappy, and you better not say nothing to me. But if you don't acknowledge the fact that we're unhappy, it makes us more unhappy. It's something that women do, and I know it because I used to play them little games.
Right.
So it is. It's real dumb. It's real petty. But
to mind readers.
Yeah. You're supposed to just know what's wrong with me.
Women will provoke you and get mad when it works.
Right.
You should already know what's wrong. How? I had a good day.
You didn't tell me.
I didn't know. You got I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Crazy.
It is crazy, but we do expect women. We do have. I think our expectations are a little crazy when it comes to that. We expect you guys, and because we think men are, y'all are really simple. Y'all are really, and I say this with all the love. Y'all are simple-minded creatures.
You say that with love, or you say that?
I say it with love.
We are simple-minded.
We are
very simple. We're not complicated.
Y'all not.
We're not.
Y'all a little bit too simple sometimes to the point where I gotta look at y'all like. But you
just need to learn how to communicate with us.
You gotta need to learn how to see things for what it is.
Sometimes we do. Sometimes you need to spell it out. I'm not
simple-minded.
Well, I gotta read your mind though.
No, it's not reading.
I don't know
mine.
if you.
Okay,
let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
I'm just letting this rock.
Yeah, let her rock. I'm about to light his ass up.
Go ahead.
So, do you feel like women have to read men's minds, or you just know?
No, I think women think they know.
However,
women think they know men's minds. We don't, but I think we know.
So you respond on what you think?
Yes.
Do you ask questions?
I mean, normally no.
Do women know a general man's mind, or do they base it on their partner?
You base
I think they base it off of
Snapchat, filters.
social media. Yeah, their partner.
And that's why Snapchat's out of business. So,
no, I think women base it off, conversations with their girlfriends.
Stop it.
Conversations, with their past, exes.
So they assume their assumption of a general man.
Absolutely.
It's corny.
They do.
Actually, a man. What do you want?
Me too. I know. I prefer to ask, because I'm not gonna play psychic. I'm not gonna try to read your mind. I prefer to ask personally. But yeah. No, but when I say men are simple, y'all are really simple-minded creatures, and I think we women, we have a hard time accepting that. We do.
How you want our minds to be set up?
Complex like ours, where we could do. You
think a woman would want a man to be as complicated, or do we leave out the emotional aspect?
No, y'all emotional.
Okay, so you want a man to be emotional and complex as they are?
I think we do.
Because that relationship is in circles.
But because it's like.
But do you want us to be simple but emotional?
No, I want a good balance.
All right.
I need a balance. That's what I need is balance. But you know how they say misery loves company? Uh-huh. I really feel like when us women, and I'm talking about the old Nelly, when we are unhappy, we want him to be unhappy too. For real.
Yeah.
I really feel like it.
But that's misery love. Yeah, that's
what I said. Misery loves company.
Put another battery together. Let's go.
For instance, like I gave the example, I think 2 weeks ago with the show where I did counsel this couple, right. And she came home from work. She was having a hard day at work, whatever. Her man was watching the show. Right. I think I told you about that. And she was like, "Babe, I want to talk to you, whatever." And he was like, "He's watching the game." Right. He didn't want to talk at the moment, but what she did, she started a fight with him. Wow. And you never pay me any attention, blah blah blah, whatever. So what ended up happening? He ended up turning off the game. Now he's bickering with her. Right. Even though she didn't get his attention in the positive light, she got negative attention from him. Right. He's now not watching his game. He's missing his game. He's not arguing with her. She's satisfied. Because now she has now made him miserable, just as she was miserable because she had a bad day at work.
But the tension that's just sitting in the household after that is wasted.
Right, no, I agree with it. But I'm just saying, I just think that's where the immature mind.
What would be your advice to how should a man respond? How would you expect your man to respond to that?
To that? Yeah. I mean, if he's watching the game, I understand that everything has to happen in a certain time. Right. If he's in the middle of the game and that's something that he really wants to watch, I'm not going to come at him with my drama at that moment.
What if you're really pissed off?
I have to call one of my girlfriends, like, "Girl, let me tell you what happened." Mm-hmm. I really would. That's just me personally.
So, men, here's what you need to do. Learn how to half listen. Okay. What you do is, you watch the game, okay? Your eyes are on the game, right? I don't need sound to watch the game. Guess what? Just dribble up and down the court. Know exactly what's about to happen. Oh, wait, good pass. I can get quiet while I do this. Okay, you're talking. Hey, I'm listening, looking for key words. Things you need, man. Watch this. You need your wows. Okay, you do that. No, they didn't. Oh my God. And who, for real, can't stand her either. No, figure out a way to build that into all of your conversation. Use those appropriately.
That'll work.
You might survive.
She's going to know that you're not giving her your full attention.
I don't know.
She's going to know that.
Listen, if you use it appropriately.
No, she's going to know.
My girl turned the TV off.
Facts. Why? Standing in front of the television.
Why? You can't look back and forth?
Nah. No, she was showing
all of it. You need to learn how to look back and forth. Shoot all of it.
You gotta understand, especially if she's unhappy and she's in her head.
Oh, so
she's not gonna
ask what's wrong. You gotta listen.
I mean, you're gonna probably break the TV.
I worked in your house.
Only if you're not listening. Only if you're not listening. See, y'all don't listen.
I'm listening.
I'm listening. And then respond accordingly. I didn't say don't listen, but I can watch and listen at the same time.
You want me to look at you?
Yeah, I can do that too. Okay, word. What? That's what's going on.
Look at that TV one more time.
Oh man.
Yeah, whatever.
They did that. Really?
God bless them. Yeah.
Hot mess. Hey Pandora, shout out to you. Darrell Ware. What's happening? Ivy Walters. Keisha Presley. What's going on? And David Harrigan. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, we are talking about being right in all the wrong ways. How to tell your mate you're unhappy.
Right.
or not
Without being
satisfied
ashamed.
without being ashamed.
And realistically, the vent is going to occur. But see, I think that the vent happens. What you're describing happens with men and women. Like everybody comes home in a moment and then needs to just for a second, right? And you expect your partner to be able to listen to you, right? I don't even know how much I expect you to fake care, but I expect you to at least be attentive enough to hear everything I got to say and be there for me because I need a moment. It happens.
I think one of the important things to talk about with talking to your mate and letting you're letting your mate know about you being unhappy or you're not satisfied. There has to be a level of self-love first for yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you'll just tolerate being unhappy and just settle with just being in this relationship because you're in a relationship. And I've seen that plenty of times, especially from women who just want to be able to say, I have a man, but they're not happy. But there's a lack of self-love there because you won't address the issue. You don't love yourself enough. You don't feel like you deserve it enough to be treated right, to be, in a healthy relationship. So you tolerate certain things and end up doing things in a relationship. That's what you don't really want to do.
But that just feeds into people who are afraid to be alone, right? That's the thing too, right? Some people are fearful of alone. Some people are serial daters, right?
Serial daters.
Yeah, like they'll bounce from relationship to relationship, and they never gonna take time to be with themselves. Right? Nah, they gonna get around in life and always have somebody because they can't handle being alone. Right? It's almost like some people are afraid of silence. Right. That thing is too much for them. Right? The voices in their head is crazy. I need somebody else.
Right.
That thing.
Yeah.
Self-love, is that the same thing as self-worth?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to, if you have self-worth and self-respect for yourself, there's certain things you won't tolerate.
Right.
I'm not gonna stay in a situation where I'm unhappy.
That's true.
Not by choice. Not when the power of decision is my own.
Right.
And I'm gonna choose to stay somewhere where I'm happy. No, I'm unhappy. Heck no, I'm not. I'm either gonna try to fix it or I'm rolling out.
I think in this circumstance, yes, but I don't think that they're the same. I think they're connected. They're cousins. They're brothers. But I think self-love is knowing your self-worth, right?
Right.
But they're not the exact same thing.
So explain why they're different.
Because my self-worth is what equals it. Like I need to know my self-worth, but there's ranges in that, right? Because I can build up my self-worth and make my self-worth more, right? I can grow that, but I love myself regardless of where my worth is at. Right, it's just the knowledge of it.
I think, but when you know your worth,
knowing your value,
you know your value, you know your worth. It's just more that you set the standard and the boundaries because you know your worth.
Absolutely.
Especially in a relationship.
Yeah.
There's certain things. Me and my girlfriend were talking the other day, and she's like, "This is why I don't judge people's relationship because some of the things that I deal with, other people won't." I was like, "Absolutely,
absolutely."
And vice versa.
Plus, even in that world, judging somebody else's relationship is only funny to me because you only get typically the vent.
Right.
Whatever you know about somebody's relationship, either A, they're only telling you the good side, or B, they're only telling you the bad side.
Right.
But typically, they're not giving you both spectrums, right? So and that's the thing, right? If I only hear about the bad things about somebody's relationship, now I'm judging it based on that.
Right.
And in those memories, people tend to only think about one or the other side. So they only think about the good sides, or they only think about the bad side. It doesn't, neither of which exists, which is also why post a breakup, somebody only look back and be like, oh, well, it was all trash. No, it wasn't. You like that motherfucker too.
Right.
It's like really like you couldn't stand him the whole time. Right. So that part happens.
Right. So when you're trying to tell, when you want to tell your mate you're not satisfied with the relationship, I think one of the first things, of course, we understand is to look at the self-love. Secondly, to address it when it happens. Don't allow too much room for it to grow and fester into something else other than what it was. And like I said earlier, and I think who said that? Was it Deidre? Somebody said that they do it too with me about the whole processing situation.
Oh, it's Tamika.
Tamika said it. Yeah, shout out to you, Mika. I think that's so important to process really what's going on. What's really bothering you? What's really the issue? Because we tend to bring things into relationships that has nothing to do with what just happened.
Right.
And then it causes it to be.
Yeah, it takes me days to process it though. Like I was telling y'all on the call, like I have a quick response and I'm like out the gate, boom.
But it's more defensive though.
Yeah, it's defensive. So, but I have to process why I'm really upset. Like, what's wrong?
It takes you days to do that.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I think I have to get past the different levels of emotion. Number one, it struck me and I'm upset and I just want to respond. Number two, what I'm really upset about, does it really have anything to do with you at all? And number three, how am I going to deal with it? How am I going to communicate it to you? So once I do that, and then for me, like I said earlier, I feel like once I tell you, you're responsible for helping me fix it. So is that really? I feel that way. I feel that way. I feel that way.
And I feel like that's a lot that you're putting on somebody else.
No doubt.
Right.
But I have to assess whether I feel like you're responsible for fixing it.
Okay.
And sometimes your level of responsibility may just be, Corey, I need you should let that go.
Okay.
Or Corey, I think we should go do X.
Right.
Did you think about why? It's not solving it, it's helping me walk through it. Because if I tell you, you just walk away like, well, yeah, that's crazy.
So a viewer said, don't go watch TV on the couch by yourself in the middle of the night and let it fester to deal with the issue.
Yeah, I'm going to watch TV in the middle of the night. Let it.
Listen, I've done that.
Festering with yourself.
Let me say how petty I am, though.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's going to piss you off if I get out this bed and go in the other room. You're going to come get me.
What if they don't?
They will.
What if they don't?
They will. It's never happened.
Okay. That's your situation.
Yeah.
But no, I think sitting on the couch in the middle of the night or whatever, even if the situation just transpired in the middle of the night, give me my time. Let me process this. I don't want to say something I'm going to regret because, again, I want this to work.
Right.
Now, if I don't want it to work, I'm going to just pop off at the mouth and you could deuces and bye. You know what I mean? Leave the key at the front door. It's been real. Thank you. But like I might need that extra 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Let me process.
So I have a 2-part question, and I know the answer to part 1, but I'm gonna.
You asking me?
Both of you.
Oh, okay.
So do you give the disclaimer that you're then trying that you need a moment, and if not,
and that's
why
where
not?
Yes, I agree. That's where that needs to happen. That
time.
disclaimer needs to happen. It does. I agree.
Yeah,
I don't always do that.
Now,
but it does.
If you keep coming and coming and coming and coming and coming, and you won't give me my time,
and you gonna snap.
I'll stop. I told you. Like, and I may just have to create a moment where I'm just like, yo, leave me alone. Get out my face.
And because of that, there are some comments. I'm just gonna read them. It's not me. It's the people, Corey. It's the people.
Let's go.
I told you, Corey, need to be on the couch.
Here we go.
So Deirdre says, the processing requires a lot of patience from your significant other.
Absolutely.
Pandora says, if it takes days, your partner must have patience.
Facts.
Right. But Ricky says, space is very important.
I agree. I agree.
Here's the thing, yo. If you know your partner, you know what they need.
Right.
Pay attention.
And for me, I don't need days. I really don't need days. I live in my truth enough, and I try to practice living in my truth enough. But just give me a couple of minutes. Let me go ahead and just do that. You know what I mean? Just give me my couple of minutes. Give me a half an hour, whatever it may need. I don't need days.
Well, let me take the S off. I think if you present me with a problem, sometimes, like I was saying a couple shows ago, men process in quiet.
Yeah, y'all process different.
Yeah, we process differently. So, depending on the complexity of the issue, I may need some time. If it happens at 12 o'clock at midnight, I might see you the next day at the end of the day when I get home from work or whatever that looks like. But sometimes y'all want a response like now.
Right.
Now, but now also that goes into the same way that they have to know that you want your partner to know you is the same way that your partner wants you to know them.
Yeah.
So if their level of anxiety, because if something is not answered, right, and they have an open question, it's just sitting in their head.
Right.
The longer that they're waiting for you and that patience that's kicking in is also being accompanied by a high level of anxiety that's in their mind bouncing 1,000 different scenarios about how it's worse while they're waiting for you to respond. So it's kind of hard in that to want them to give you that in that same space of they have their own words in their head. Or do they get over it past you, and now they all happy-go-lucky, and you still processing some shit, right? So that balance is super hard to find.
But I think also you just have to tell them, listen, I understand the situation is important to you. I haven't forgot. I have to work my way through this.
See, so can I share my situation?
Yeah.
We had me and my babe had a really big falling out. Shout out to you, babe.
I love how we had a really big falling out. Shout out to you, babe.
No, this is a while back, not today.
Love you.
You made it back in the house.
Right. Keys under the mat.
Bro. Yeah, y'all know. I can't stand y'all.
You came out and got him off the couch.
Right, because your ass is coming to get him off the couch.
Listen.
So you just gonna sleep on the couch all night? Yeah.
No, you see, I'm the one running to the couch. Real talk.
You go to the couch?
I go to the couch.
I can see that.
Process though. Just the process. I'm not staying on the couch. Just the process.
Yeah, right.
But
the counselor needs to process.
No, of course. What you mean? They the number ones that need to process.
Right.
Shoot.
Snap.
Listen.
Make it look like a suicide.
With a big sign above the couch now process.
Exactly. I'm gonna get one of those. I'm gonna get one. Real talk. I'm gonna get one.
No, that's hilarious.
I'm gonna get one now.
Good.
No, so a situation happened. A whole bunch of emotions was involved. I was tired, like dog tired.
Right.
And he kept asking me, like, what's the matter? And I said, yo, I'm really, really tired. I just need to go to sleep.
Right.
It was an issue. And granted, maybe I was wrong because I didn't say there's an issue bothering me, but I can't deal with it right now. I just kept saying I'm tired. I really did need to sleep. Because at that moment, because of the lack of sleep that I had gotten, on top of everything else going on, if I would have said anything, I guarantee you I would have regretted it.
Right.
And we would not be nowhere near where we are today.
That's true.
So I just kept saying, I'm tired. And then when I did talk to him about it, of course he got upset because like, well, I asked you last night what was wrong. I couldn't talk to you because I was tired. So I wasn't, functioning right.
Yeah,
so whatever I would have said out my mouth would not have come out right. Of course, he had a hard time accepting that because he thought I was just BSing him. But I was in tune with me enough, self-aware enough to know that my tiredness would have totally blocked my rational thinking. It would have fogged it up, and I would have said something that I probably would have emasculated the dude.
Yeah.
Because y'all know I could go there.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all know I got a mouth on me.
I mean, I don't know personally.
And the Lord, okay, you don't know, but Corey knows.
Yeah.
I can go there.
Never done that.
But I don't want to.
Shit, Corey knows. Like, she's violated me before.
I haven't violated Corey. Corey's been around to see me in my rear form.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that. So I just had to stick with it. I'm very tired, and I legit went to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the thing, though. So that's what I'm saying. But what I realized about me, and I was talking to y'all about that in the call, and I realized that sometimes I've argued with my insecurities. That's what comes out when I'm spazzing out. It's not really necessarily always about the situation. That's just what lit the fuse.
Right. That
made me want to just lash out and talk about X. So now that I'm self-aware of it, I have it under control. I'm good.
Right.
It just took some. It took some self-processing and having to get that together, but I get it.
I think the hard part, even in this scenario that you just talked about, right? Then, right when he came back the next day, he thought you was BSing. The reason why he thought you was BSing is because now, in that time frame where the patience is required, he's left up to his own mental faculties, which just allows the game of Pong in your head to bounce those thoughts off, back and forth. And now he came up with all this other, man, listen, she just out there, man. She don't even care. Talk about she gotta lay down now. Man, listen, I already told her my problem, right?
Right.
Oh, she had nothing to say? Or she can't talk now? She too tired though? Right. So she's so tired and she ain't got nothing to say that she's sleeping out there.
Right.
Okay, word. That's where we at though?
How many people playing ping pong there?
Right.
As far as go.
Yeah,
no, I slept in the bed. I just
sure you
like,
did.
I did. No, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he's texting me now. He wants me to let him know. He got mad because I woke him up at 5 a.m.
Right. To do what?
Ready to talk.
You played yourself. No, that's dope, though. Here's the thing, man. When you wanted to work and you can, wake me up.
Wake me up. Please say that again.
If you wanted to work and you can, wake me up.
And that was my point with him. And granted, he did say he was making a big fuss because it was 5 a.m. But I said, listen, my thing is this. If I'm your significant other and you want this to work, it don't matter if it's 2 a.m. If I say there's a problem and we need to talk about it. Because if he woke me up at 5, my first response was like, what happened? What's the matter? Not, really, you waking me up at 5 in the morning.
Okay, I'm only confused at this fact. So you didn't talk about it then because you were too tired and you wanted to process. So then when you wake them up at 5 and they're still tired, but you're done processing. So now, all right, listen, my Pop-Tarts has popped up. Come on, time to eat it. Like, I mean, you can't.
I have the problem though.
But here's the thing. First of all, that's selfish. That's selfish as hell. Right? That was corny. I was with you, Nelly, until you just did that. So sorry to him if he's listening. Yeah, text him back and tell us he's selfish.
I was up since 5.
Right. But here's the thing, man. What I've always said, though, if that's your relationship, that's your relationship. Here's the thing. If you wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, we need to talk this problem out. It's time well spent.
Thank you.
That's it. So.
Yeah, that's what he just said. He said, but I ain't thinking straight when you wake me up out of my sleep.
No, I'm thinking straight. I'm thinking I did something crazy. Or you waking me up.
Or can we go here because we being real?
Right.
You know you did something crazy.
Right.
With the wake up?
No, not even with the wake up, but before with the whole situation arising, you know you had a part to play in it. Like you said, that's why you said you're gonna wake up.
Yeah.
Because you.
No. Just because I wake up don't mean I did something wrong.
You did something wrong.
Nah, hell no. Don't do that. That's not true.
You did something wrong.
I'm just open to talk. Let's go.
So off the wake up?
Yeah.
Pandora said,
"Don't get this problem worked out."
I don't know.
Pandora said, "Don't let the sun go down on your problem." That's not always easy to do, though.
Hell no, it's not easy.
Yeah, I think that's that's a saying. I think the hard part about that is sometimes, like you said, I might need some rest. I might need to come down because I think that you can have a whole day full of BS. Right. So, and if I hit you with it right now, you're gonna catch my whole day, and you don't really deserve my whole day, right? You deserve the 5 minutes about the spaghetti. Right. You don't deserve everything I went through that day. So I'm let me take it down for a little bit. And sure. Yeah. Sometimes that matters.
Isabel said I had a guy call me a runner when I would walk away to avoid saying something I would regret. I'd walk out the room into the living room, and all of a sudden I was a runner. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Some people can't handle the silence, though.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, silence is really loud.
It is.
Sometimes, and also in heated situations when egos are involved and pride is involved, that runner mentality, when somebody walks away, oh, you walking away from me now?
Right.
Now, that ain't got nothing to do with what we arguing about what the actual debate is, but I'm offended because you walked away.
Right.
So, you're not going to be the one. It's kind of like the last person to end the conversation, right? You always gotta get the last word, huh? Right. That thing kicks in, and that leaves actual problem and starts getting into.
Let me ask you this question: How do y'all deliver the message that you're not happy?
I would talk about it. I'd be like, first of all, going back to therapy, I would use I statements. I don't want to blame. I don't want to point fingers, but I would use I statements and kind of talk about how certain things made me feel. Not specifically, you made me feel and you're making me unhappy. No, when you ignore me, when you don't give me attention, when I ask for attention, it makes me feel like I'm not wanted.
Right.
I would say something like that. I would be mindful of their feelings. And now this is the grown-up Nelly. If people would have known Nelly a couple years ago, they'd be like, what the hell? Right. But no, this is the Nelly that wants it to work. So I would really consider their feelings.
That's what's up. Shout out to you.
How do you handle it?
Corey gonna cuss you out.
Nah, I'm not the cuss person out,
I'm
man.
not satisfied.
With the New York class. Listen,
I think I just say it, man. Like, I'm not happy. I'm not happy, and here's why. It's straight like that. You want to ask me the question? I'm trying to explain it to you.
I think it's important. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Terrell.
No.
You don't think it's that easy, right?
It's not even that. I just think that if you're already at the point in which your statement is, I'm not happy. Yeah. Not happy is a red flag. Mm-hmm. Right, which means that there are a bunch of glaring issues that are sitting around here. Versus, all right, let's talk. There's just this that we need to work on. Right, there's a far cry difference that I'm not happy overall, and there's a few things that's not satisfying. Let's work on this. How can we work on that? Right, and kind of brainstorming with your partner to make certain things better. It's just different.
Right, I agree.
So I think I do the brainstorming thing, but I think along the way that I will say, to your point, like if I say, I don't really like this, or this made me feel some type of way. After like 17 times I've done told you that, it's going to equal to I'm not happy.
That's a problem. Yeah, if you keep telling them over and over and not changing them, you need to go ahead and roll about that relationship.
Yeah. Because and okay, so now let's go here. But we have a lot of good comments. But one of the things I want to say to that is, so if you start reaching a level of multiple times when you say, hey, I'm not satisfied with this. I'm not happy with how this thing is going, whatever it may be. Right. All right, after the third time, maybe, okay, why when I tell you that these things bother me aren't something changing? Because maybe I'm missing. Maybe you need me to tell you how to fix it, and you don't know how to say that, right? So now I got to do another layer deep. Right? Why, if I tell you these things are bothering me, is nothing changing? What can we do to make these things change?
I think this is the part of relationships people don't understand. Because this is where the work comes in. Right. Especially if you really want it to work. Yeah. And we were younger, we ain't care that much back in the day. So it's just like, so you ain't happy. All right, cool. Well, peace out. Whatever. Right, but like you said, after the second time, and I've told you, and you still ain't changed now, okay, what's going on? What are you not understanding about? Or, how can we make this work? Yeah. I think what's important too when you're talking to your mate about not being satisfied, it's important to come with some level of some suggestions of solutions.
Yeah.
Because if you're the one that's unhappy, you need to be able to identify what's going to make you happy.
I did that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
but you know the inside of it all. So
that situation is a whole it's a show in itself.
That's a show in itself.
That's a whole show in itself.
So,
let me get some of these comments. Ashley said
when you hear what's your counselor?
We have to do that whole show by yourself, Corey.
Be safe though. Right.
Ashley says giving the disclaimer is key instead of just getting up and walking out, which is most likely going to make the situation worse without some kind of communication, and maybe even throw in some kind of time frame so that your partner isn't constantly checking in, which can make it worse. That's true.
So if you need days, you should say, I'm gonna need a couple days to process.
You know what's so funny? When I used to work at the prison, the Muslims at the prison, they told me about one of their rules is when they have a issue with one of their boys, they have to have 3 days. They take 3 days where they don't talk to the person, and they're able to, I guess, process what's going on, and then they come back. So yeah, the Muslims. You know, when I used to work at the prison. So after I left there, I used to always tell my girlfriends that. So we had gotten an argument. I used to be like, girl, give me my 3 days, and I will talk to you in 3 days.
It's a fact.
I used to always say that to
3-day
her.
rule. Shout out to the 3-day rule. I'm gonna get a shirt that says I need 3 days.
3 days, right.
Now process.
And I don't know how true it was, or they was just dating me, but
I just want to follow that with Jacinta's comment that says a couple of days the other person can be processing the exit at that point.
absolutely.
That's too long to leave someone wondering.
That's true.
Now, I think the
That
one
is
thing
true.
that we're missing here is there's a difference between momentary satisfaction and long-term satisfaction. Some things can grow, some things can change. This is what satisfied me in the moment. This is what my issues are right now. This is my issues are long-term, big picture view, right? These are little, and there's a difference between a gnat and a lion. Okay, how big is the issue that we're talking about? Also depends on how long it can take to process.
Yeah. But I also think
I
if
feel
you
like
feel-
my days just lit the whole conversation up. Here's the thing: not all situations take days, guys. All right, relax.
but I think
You
if
cut the
deal
cake
with that-
wrong. I need 5 days to process.
So you think I got it wrong? Oh, okay, 3 days. Nah, it's not that. It's
Cut
not
cake
that.
wrong.
Relax.
Girl, you're an
Y'all be
idiot.
taking my shit seriously. You know how long it took for people who was coming up to me for weeks talking about. So if people brush their teeth in front of you, you really got an issue with that? I'm like, hell yeah. Why are you talking about in a meeting? What? So you really don't like when females brush their teeth in front of you? No.
What you gum in front of me?
Right.
Or chew gum, yeah.
Spit the gum out. Nah.
Right. Oh my
Hilarious.
And then after they done, Corey, like, and I need 3 days to process this.
God. Right. Y'all stupid.
Thanks.
Whatever.
Linda said that now processing sign could help a lot of people in relationships. Hashtag real talk. I
3
agree.
days now
Linda, I'm
processing.
gonna go get a now processing sign. Watch me.
Fact.
Matter of fact, that's gonna be our next shirt. Corey, Corey, get that up.
I'm on
Now
it.
processing.
Now
Pandora
processing.
said that's my husband. He is like, wake me up when you're ready to talk. I'm here.
That's it.
Nope, that is a must. We can do it. Jacinda said, I can't sleep with an issue on the table, but my husband prefers that I start my discussions before bedtime. Well, Ricky says silent treatment is a gift and a curse.
True that.
Yeah. Eddie said a pie chart. I'm not sure what he was referring to with that. Well, Ricky said there are certain things I'm not happy about, and if you really want to make this work, there are certain things you would do to make it a difference.
Yeah, but throwing a bunch of things at a wall and hoping that something sticks
Yeah.
sometimes doesn't help. That's why
Hell
the
no, it ain't
communication
gonna work.
matters, right? Because you could do something else that now, okay, you're not satisfied. Fine, we're going to try this instead. Okay, you're making it worse.
Right, exactly.
Okay, cover your teeth.
I said
No,
3 days.
He said, no, but you're 3 days.
It's not 48 hours. Relax.
Yeah.
Another 48 hours.
I had another 3 days on to that. Jacinda said, I talk about what's good, what's not, what's changing it looks like in real life, and then ask if there's anything they need to that I'm not providing. Yeah, because it's not always one-sided. Being dissatisfied in a relationship is not really just one-sided. There may be some things you're doing that's causing
that's true.
the person to respond the way that they're responding.
Right.
That's true.
So it definitely does take a level of mature
It
communication.
might be a reactionary thing.
Absolutely. Pandora says, I say I want to go to Florida. He knows it's time to talk, and I'm not happy.
Whoops.
Oh, so she got cold words.
Keywords. All right.
Keywords.
Pineapple.
Talk about that Florida. That Florida talk. You know things happen in Florida.
That's it. Right.
Like, boo, we got to go to Vegas. Okay?
Vegas.
Now we're going to Vegas.
Right.
What happens to Vegas stays in Vegas.
Right.
Isabel says, honesty is key. He's not going to know what he needs to work on something if it's not communicated to him.
That's a fact.
And that's what I mean by sometimes with the guys being very simple. We love y'all, but y'all simple. Y'all don't catch little things.
Yeah, I'll keep saying that.
Y'all don't.
Yeah. They
No, let me say,
she just ride on that
We gonna
simple-minded men thought. Okay,
That's simple-minded
and we
men.
got 2 minutes left, and she's like, simple-minded men. Come back from it.
Simple-minded.
I need 2 days to process the simple-minded.
I'll give you 7.
Chuck,
See you
Chuck,
next
with the
week.
3
Listen,
Y'all crazy.
no, because y'all miss so much things. Like girls would be so in love with y'all and so caught up with y'all,
Yeah.
and y'all like, no, we just cool. Like she's buying you dinner, lunch, and breakfast. She's getting your feet done. Like my dude. Like she's that, not just a friend. I'm just saying.
Don't touch me.
She would.
Right.
Well, Give me 3 days.
3 days.
You're an idiot. All right, we're about to wrap this up. So, advice for tonight for the people. When you're dissatisfied or when you're unhappy in your relationship, advice. Let's do this real quick.
I'm gonna say number one, communicate what you need and what you want. If you really want it to work, you'll pay attention.
Right.
And lastly, man, I think, don't always underestimate the power of prayer. So pray about it and discuss what you prayed about, and expect to change. Expect it to change. Don't just look for the default. So
I want to add to you with the prayer. Prayer works, but it doesn't satisfy.
True story.
I did a whole workshop on that. Prayer works, but it doesn't satisfy.
Right.
So it's cool to pray. It does work. But you got to do the work. You got to do the work. And not when it blows up to a big old situation. Address it when it happens. Yeah. If you need your 3 days, put your disclaimer out there. Go get your now processing sign. I'm going to have those on sale next week.
No, processing 3 days.
But
You're going to make that put up.
Prayer works, but it doesn't satisfy. You have to do the work. You have to put in the work. It ain't enough just to pray. Okay, that's my only thing. Go ahead.
I say discuss why you're dissatisfied before the red flags start. Right,
Absolutely.
like start having those conversations and discuss your experiences as you grow and to build together versus trying to help somebody else build while you're already over here and
right.
And
lastly, let me don't forget this: celebrate the win when it changes. Celebrate that it changed and applaud that. Don't just keep throwing dirt.
You're gonna notice the fail. You will definitely notice the fail.
Absolutely, that's good stuff. All right, y'all, we gotta wrap it up for the night. So thank you guys for tuning in with us, the Hottest Live family. As always, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Facebook Live family, we appreciate you guys as well. Meet us here next week, same time, same place. We'll be back in the building. Hopefully, no more snow comes.
No more snow.
No more snow.
Talk to y'all later.
For 8 days.
Process this for 7 days. We'll see y'all next week.
3 days.
Have a great night,
Sure,
y'all.
coming next week. Watch. 3 days now processing.
Now processing.
Hey, yo. Talk to y'all later. See you.
Hey yo, G.